Niall, you mentioned having a number of unusual, perhaps paranormal experiences at the Wellington Town Hall. Would you like to tell us about some of them?
Right, no problem. One of the strangest ones I encountered was actually a door opening and closing on its own. It was an external door, but there was no wind that night. These doors were from the town hall into the civic square. There's sort of a staff entrance into the town hall that the public aren't allowed to use. And after hours, they always had to be locked.
So describe these doors to us.
Right, so they're big, old-fashioned double doors, hinged on the edges. They open like this. Usually what would happen is only a single door would open. When the public would hit this button, both the doors would open. A lot of the time what would happen is the wind would catch these doors and they would slightly buckle outwards. And this was normal for the wind to do this. What we'd get is on our computer screens is a warning flashing up that these doors were opening. One night, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, I saw about 50 of these warnings opening up, and I looked at the cameras that were facing this door, and these doors were opening and closing very forcefully on their own. There was nobody there.
Wow. No
wind whatsoever. I went to investigate it myself just to make sure there was nobody actually opening and closing them. There was nobody there whatsoever. We have card access systems in the town hall which would record anybody going through those doors, their name and what time they did it, and also the security camera facing that door was on all the time. I watched the past hour worth of footage from that door and nobody had used it in that past hour. These doors were very old and very heavy. As I said earlier, the wind could slightly move them, but nothing towards the extent that they were moving. They were opening and closing to their full reach about once every second.
Wow. Could you see that movement on the security camera?
I could, yes.
Any other possibly paranormal experiences or observations while you were there?
I did. I had quite a few of them actually. There were a couple that were very memorable, however. One of them was very scary to me. It occurred in the northern plant room. The northern plant room is a big old plant room up a flight of wooden stairs. This area was very, very spooky at night. Would often experience chills in there, which had no cause that we could find. One night I was walking up these stairs, and it's a dog-leg stairs. You come around the top. They're a big old set of wooden stairs, not very well built because they're not for the public. They're just bits of wood slapped together really. And they're a bit of a dog leg. You go up one set, turn around and go up the second set. As you come up to the top of the second set, there's a bar you have to duck underneath. And after you duck underneath the bar, it sort of splits off in two directions. There's a gangway going to your left. There's a bit of a walkway going to your right, and it goes to a hole in the wall. It's about yay big, by about yay tall, and this goes into the roof space.
Okay, so we're going up the stairs into the plant room, the northern plant room.
Yep, and at the top of the stairs you turn to your right and there's the hole in the wall. It's about this big. Looking at this hole in the wall, some nights I'd get chills up my back for some reason. There seemed to be no reason why I should. I'm very confident in this area. I've done it every night. Some nights there just seemed to be something very spooky about this hole. This one particular night I came up the stairs, I looked at the hole and I got a very, very strange feeling up the back of my spine. I decided we have to go off to the left, go around, check a couple of the doors up there and check that all the machines are running correctly. I did this. I turned to my left, which is away from the hole, and I heard a scraping noise behind me coming from in the roof space. I turned around, I go back to the hole, I poke my head through it, flash my torch around a bit, see if there's anything there, and there's nothing I can see. Go back, do my check, and I come back from doing my check, and you turn around a corner and the hole in the wall's dead ahead of you. The stairs are off to your right hand side and you have to go down them. As I was walking towards this hole, a very, very strange feeling came over me a second time, and I decided I want to get out of there pretty fast. So I head down the first flight of stairs, turn around to go down the second flight, and the whole room goes incredibly cold. And I take the first step down the second set of stairs, and I feel these hands on my back, and they push me.
Wow.
Fell down about 10 stairs, hit the door at the bottom, which wasn't too nice. I didn't like going into that room again after that.
Is there anything else that happened in the town hall that you would want to talk about?
The rest of them are just very small things that would happen very often. Certain rooms you'd go into and they would go very cold all of a sudden, or doors would open and close on their own. Nothing like what I described earlier. They would just, you'd be walking around and you'd see it swing towards you, then swing back. All the doors in there, as you probably know, are actually quite thick, quite heavy.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of force to move some of them.
Yeah. Is there any other rooms in the town hall, aside from what you've already mentioned, that you've had have an unusual feeling about?
The green room at night, after everybody's gone home, it's very spooky in there. During the day, or when somebody else is there, it doesn't seem so eerie, but there have been strange things that have happened in there that we can't explain. One of the guards felt something brush past him when there was nothing there. There are external doors into that room though, and it possibly is wind in that place. But
well, we'll be checking out the green room. Yeah. Anything about the Isle Theatre?
The Isle Theatre, yes, this place is very spooky. Some nights you'd hear things rustling around in the lighting bars. Some nights you'd walk in and you get a feeling that somebody's sitting in a particular seat in the theatre. It's always one of about 3 seats that you'd actually get a feeling that there's actually somebody sitting there.
Niall, you're aware that there used to be an apartment and a family living in what is now the Civic Suite. Do you know about that?
I do, yes. A couple of the guards have told me stories about actually seeing a family up in the Civic Suite. They'll walk into a room and there's a family sitting around. Very strange occurrence. They'd go to talk to them and they'd get no reply. They'll turn around, call for backup, and when they turn back there's no one there. Most of these guards were actually people that left because of these experiences. One of the guards reported not seeing but hearing them quite frequently though. They had a dog apparently that a lot of people talk about, and some nights you could hear paws on the marble floors.
Going back to some of the rooms, the main auditorium, which is a big, large, dark space. Any experiences in that room?
There were experiences, but being a big old dark room, those ones were mostly discounted. Yeah, that room was, you'd get some strange occurrences in there. Some of the times I'd be doing it, there's the balcony from the first story seating area. You get a feeling somebody's standing in the, where would it be? If you're standing at the front of the organ, it's directly up to your top right hand side. About a quarter of a way around the curve.
Any of this, do you think, I'm guessing the guards talk a lot, I mean, is any of it tall tales or exaggerations, or, you know, a new person comes in and you want to, you know, scare them or whatever?
There was a bit of hazing. The way with the security company, really, you've got to make sure that the people you're working with are up to the challenge. If you're getting assaulted out there, you need to know they've got your back.
Yeah.
But because of that, we knew what we could do from that hazing. We knew what control the guards had over temperature in certain rooms. You could drop it by maybe 2 degrees, but some of the temperature drops you felt could be up to 10 degrees in